Hey guys, I want to talk to you about marketing. One of the things that I discovered when I started this business and Joe and I started working together was that marketing is something that's completely misunderstood and undervalued. It's problematic in many ways for businesses to take that position because the most successful businesses are the ones that are top of mind. If you think about any industry, you're going to immediately associate the industry with a certain product offering. I mean, if you think of sneakers, you're going to think of a couple different brands. If you think of rifles, you're going to think of a couple different brands. If you're thinking about your favorite coffee, hopefully you'll think of one brand only. And if you think of how that came to be, it didn't come to be because they just had a superior product. There's actually a lot of marketing that went into that. Because the marketing was designed so that you would see it and you would start recognizing the brand. And within that, the advertising played a major role. Why does this apply to you? Well, you can have the greatest service offering in the world. You can have the best product. And if you're from the military and you're from law enforcement and you're a hard charger and you've always believed in meritocracy, the problem you're going to run into is that you want to stay out of the spotlight. Well, staying out of the spotlight kind of creates an issue for you with connection with customers. If you don't connect with your customers because your ideal audience isn't aware of your product or you can't articulate why your product or your offerings are, way better than anybody else's in the market space, unfortunately, they will never know and they're going to continue shopping and continue purchasing products and offerings that are subpar compared to what you have. What we at 0 Hour do is we alleviate that pain. We end up sitting with you, spending time, develop the procedure. We create tactics and strategy for your offerings with the idea in mind that everyone who potentially would have an interest in what you have will get a chance to see it. That's important. And when I left my previous life in 2014, I really struggled. I would go to interviews, I would go talk to people, and I couldn't really discuss where I'd worked or exactly what I'd done. And so that was a real roadblock. In hindsight, Joe at the time had spoken to me about doing marketing, about creating a brand around me. And that actually freaked me out to a degree that I think most of you are familiar with. I didn't like the idea. I didn't want my face plastered everywhere. I still had some ideas and maybe harbored some ambitions within the government space of doing things that I hadn't had a chance to do yet. And over time, I came to realize that my own unwillingness to put myself out there and to just connect with people limited me severely. I saw a lot of people whom I knew who were doing it, and I didn't quite know how to take that. I also saw some people that I knew actually sucked at what they did, being very, very successful. And I think we can probably all quickly think of at least one or two people in our lives that absolutely suck at what they do, but they're not shy to get in front of the camera and they're making a lot of money doing it, right? Whether that's right or wrong, that's an ethical decision, but it's not for us to judge as much as if we measure their success, they're much more successful at putting themselves out there than most of us. So marketing allows us to do that. We just recently did a video for one of our clients, Candor Fabrications. They're becoming Candor Off-Road. And one of their main challenges was they're a great company. They do amazing work. They're able to literally put things together off of a sketch that was on a napkin that a farmer handed them or that a client handed them, or basically a doodle that somebody sends in and goes, hey, could you make this for me? And these guys put it together and they actually make it work. What they didn't have is they didn't have the visibility that they deserve. So in working with them, we produced a video for them, and people are noticing them. And it's important because they're a great business that does great things. So if that's the case, and if these two never really had the opportunity to go in front of an audience, Now all of a sudden, like an audience out there that is receptive to what they're doing, that's interested in what they're doing, and that, may even just purely support them because they now connect with them because they see, oh, this is Scott and Eric. These are great guys. Like, they're American heroes. Like, they're veterans. That one of them was in law enforcement. Like, they're just great dudes and they're making exactly what I need. Like, now I want to purchase what they have. That's a win for all of us. And as veterans, I think we need to start looking at that and going, it's not about feeling weird because I'm in front of the camera. It's not about, like taking away from who you are because now you're selling out. Like, nobody's asking you to sell out. What we're saying is get out there and talk to your audience, communicate with them. So my challenge to each and every one of you watching this is that you start doing more video yourself. You get in front of the camera. You do that like 10 seconds that makes you super uncomfortable. It'll become 30 seconds, and then it'll become a minute, and then it'll become 2 minutes. And next thing you know, you'll be like, hey, you know what? This isn't that bad, and I can actually do this. One of my friends, a really good friend of mine, Travis Hall from Second Chance Med. Travis is the quiet, consummate professional, and he has embraced it. He posts all day long. He's gaining an awesome audience, a loyal audience, a great following, people who are engaging him. I mean, he went from like literally working in the shadows to being in the spotlight, create spotlight for himself, create spotlight for businesses that he's partnered with, create spotlights for people that he likes. And it's all mutually beneficial. Like everyone gets to gain from it. And that's important for us as veterans because none of us want to be dependent. We don't need to be dependent. We don't need somebody to give us a handout, somebody to go, oh yeah, here you go. Like here's a t-shirt and, a pledge to like hire you next year. That doesn't help anyone. It's nice, but it doesn't help you. Like what helps you is actually you putting yourself out there so that people connect with you. Because when they do connect with you, you're not dependent. You create your own destiny. And creating your own destiny is what you did the moment you decided to enlist, the moment you swore an oath, the moment you decided, you know what, I'm not going to be a coward, like I'm going to go out there and I'm going to get after it in life. That's why this matters, because that same mindset will translate to marketing. That same marketing approach of being brave and going out there and getting outside of your comfort zone will help you connect with your audience. Your audience will appreciate you. All the little flaws that you think you have, like, oh, this looks weird or that looks weird, I have a weird voice. Look, we all have them. But people don't notice. It's like we're our own worst enemy because we're the most critical of ourselves. So don't let perfection paralysis get in the way of connecting with your audience, making sure that they know who you are, making sure that they know that you appreciate them and move forward from there. Be successful. That's what we want. If you have questions on how to do marketing because it all seems very easy or it seems very difficult or all it takes is a couple Facebook posts and I'll have 300,000 followers, or do I need 10,000 likes to be more successful, or should I run paid ads, or should I just boost posts? Like that's where we help you out. And for sure, Joe knows infinitely more about it than I do, and I'm learning. I'm kind of drinking water through a fire hose, but it's working. Things are happening. We're moving forward. We'd like you to be along for the ride.